This is Android X1138 with the fifth and final part of the Unfair Advantage Dark Souls Quick Start Guide. So, as promised, I'm now going to make my way into the Catacombs, and I'm going to show you how to get the Rite of Kindling very early on in the game. So this character is now at level 21. I've leveled up Vitality and Endurance up to 14, which is still fairly low, but what I'm trying to do is just give myself a little bit of extra stamina and a little bit of extra Vitality. So again, as before, we're going to try and take out these, I'm going to try and take out these guys here. Give them some backstabs. And that wasn't too bad. And again, I'm going to go past that point where I showed you where the Zweihander was earlier on. I'm not going to go down there just yet because there's a couple of giant skeletons down there that would be ridiculous to try and take on at this point with this little weapon. Would be very dangerous. I'll get myself stomped in no time. As you can see, unless I can get a backstab on these guys, it's very difficult to kill them because they take quite a few hits, and the giants would take many more. So again, you know, just try and keep some distance with these guys. When you see them trying to take a shot at you, that's a good time. When they raise their swords, that's a good time to try and hit them, as long as you can get in quickly enough. So just carry on down these little steps, and that's going to take you into the Catacombs. So last time these exploding heads didn't go off until after I'd gone pretty much all the way down here, so what I'm going to try and do here is see if I can use them, trigger them to try and take out this guy. And of course they're still not, no, there we go. So that took out that one for me, two of those heads exploded. Run past because there is a third one you don't want to get caught by. I'm just going to hack and slash at this guy as I can't really get behind him quite so easily. And again with these two down here, you're going to try and get the backstabs. Which I miss. I'll get back around to it in a second. In the meantime, I'm getting my ass kicked. El Swigavastus. Well, no backstabs, but still worked. I was going to try and just make my way down to the bonfire there before these guys had a chance to really come up, but that didn't quite work. Managed to block the way pretty well. That nice backstab there. Takes care of him, well, somewhat. And always remember to dodge with these guys, just keep moving out of the way because they will do you a lot of damage. Swing round behind them. And again, if you can't get the backstab, at least if you're behind them or you're at their sides, you're going to have a much lower chance of them being able to try and parry or hit you back. backstab. So here I'm going to use up a couple of humanity, well, one humanity actually, and I'm going to revive myself to human form so I can kindle this fire, because I'm really going to need at least my 10 Estus here to be able to get through this next part. Trying to do it with 5, you know, it's durable, but it's definitely very difficult. Bang. There we go. Backstab. That's what we're looking for. Alright, that's the end of them. So when you come out through this little part here, you gotta watch out, because there's going to be a couple of skeletons down here to the left, and that bolt of fire that you just saw that's coming from a necromancer down there. Again, if you're at a higher level, you can take the necromancer out and then you can use standard weapons against these guys, but I don't have a standard weapon that's more powerful than this, so I'm just going to try and take out this guy here. And this is one of the reasons I came back here, is because I didn't have the bow and arrow before. And obviously having a little extra health and stamina certainly helps. But here I just got hit by one of those heads, and he just hit me, so that's me out for now. So, back to the bonfire. Round 2. Second time lucky. Let's see if I can do it a little bit better this time with these guys. Maybe not. Got myself in all sorts of trouble here. And again. One more. Did he die? Finally. Alright, let's see if this time I can take that necromancer out without getting myself killed. The trick is really just trying to find the sweet spot where you can hit him with arrows and he can't hit you. If you're too close to the edge, he's going to be able to hit you, but if you stay back a little bit, that was my mistake last time, then you should be able to get him with some headshots and be able to stay safe yourself. And again with the backstab, he's still not dead. So as you can see, these guys take a few hits. They're really not too easy at this level, but it's worth spending the little extra effort here so that you can try and get the Rite of Kindling. And again, with pretty much all the humanoid foes in this game, if you can get them with the headshot, you get them to stagger, it gives you a chance to line up your next shot, hopefully in time before they can actually retaliate. I thought that was the last one, he'd be dead, but not quite. There we go. Now there are a couple of other skeletons you're going to want to try and hit in here. Just take a little pop shot at them, and sometimes these guys actually just go skipping, kind of rolling out off that ledge and kill themselves, but on this occasion he didn't. This one was deciding to try and come up to me. And more often than not they get stuck on this little piece here, that little part there, you see that, but he actually bought himself out of that. Again, get around behind him, backstab, and hopefully just a couple of swipes and he should be gone. Now there's another one here, he's a little tricky to get, and this really kind of gets on my nerves because you see where the rocks are, you look like you're going to be able to get a proper shot, and yep, there you go, blocked again. Try going lower, keep stepping back until you can finally actually get him. Sometimes you have to kind of aim lower down towards his waist, or even lower. Alright, that finally made contact. Again, rather than going and throwing himself over the edge, this time he's actually decided to come and try and attack me properly. But again, he gets stuck, so I'm going to try and use some arrows here and see if I can actually take him out a little bit easier. Which ends up just drawing two of them out to me. As if one of them at a time wasn't bad enough. There we go. As you can see, it takes a little bit more than just one backstab to kill these guys. Typically most people are at least level 40, 50 or so when they come in to take on this part, so trying to do this around level 20, 21 is, as I said, a little bit difficult, but it's not too bad. You just got to make sure that you can get behind them and backstab them. And again. Put down your pipe and smoke it. Alright, so here off to your left is an archer, so just literally run past that so you don't get hit with arrows. This guy parries extremely well, so make sure you get behind him if you can. Don't let him get in front of you straight on, because he will be pretty hard to beat at this level. Another backstab, really the best way to go. And again, lure this guy out, let him jump down from that little platform, swing around behind him, backstab. Now, off to my right, there's a little room here. I'm not going to go in there right now. There's a weapon called the Lucerne, which is a warhammer, which is pretty cool, but I'm not going to try and take that on right now because there are two skeletons in there. Again, that do great parries, and they're going to be really difficult to try and take on at the moment, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to try and handle these guys here, and I'm already nearly losing my skin on this, so step back, take a little swig of Estus. Those jump attacks do quite a bit of damage, so that's always a good one when you've got a bit of damage there, when you've got a bit of distance between yourself and your enemy. And the kicks are always a good way to throw an enemy off balance. If you have an enemy, especially if they're trying to block, if you kick them, that will throw them off balance. It opens their guard and allows you to get in and do some damage to them. This one's kind of useless. He does this flying, spinning attack, which really is just telegraphs his moves. Allows you to dodge out the way and get around behind him. Again with the backstab, and he's done. Easy. So coming through here, you're going to have to be really careful because you have an archer who's trying to take pot shots at you, and you've got another skeleton off to the left here that you'll see in just a second. He's still on the floor. Okay, the bones are starting to assemble now. And what you're going to want to do here is try and lure him out so you can take him on first, get him away from that other guy. So you can try and get him with some backstabs and, you know, stay covered. While you're actually in the motion of stabbing them in the back, you're actually invulnerable for a few seconds, just while it's doing the main part of the animation. But so that gives you a little chance to not get hit. So you see there, for instance, any arrows will just go right through you. But as soon as you've got that, just jump out the way again. Remember to use your dodges. Always roll and get yourself out of the way. So as you can see, just trying to take them on head on, you have to do quite a few hits before you can actually take them down. Again, we've got another necromancer over here, you can see by that light. So I'm just going to fire some arrows at him, see if I can hit it. There we go, got a shot. Kind of difficult to get the hot headshots from here. And this bow is doing really pretty pathetic damage, but I'm just chipping away at him really at this point. Also these guys here, these two skeletons, if you pop them with a little shot, they're more often than not just going to fly off the edge like that. They'll jump off. So take them out if you can. But really focus on the necromancer first, because he's your primary target here. There we go, headshot. Now part of the problem is that he staggers back a little bit and he kind of moves out of your way, which makes it harder and harder to get the headshots, but if you can get them, it will help chip him down a lot faster. He's not going to be able to hurt you from here, so you don't have to worry really about him being able to hit you. It's just a case of how many arrows you can waste trying to kill him. But there you go, that wasn't too bad. Here you want to run out a little bit and wake up some of these skeletons here. And I'm going to use the heads. I'm going to try and trigger the heads so that they take him out. Or at least one of them took him out. A couple more skeletons coming through. And I'm going to dodge through inside the building here in the hopes that I'm going to be able to take them on one-on-one, but no, now there's two of them. So I'm going to pull back down this corridor. And just as I do that, one of the other heads explodes on the other side of the wall. It does make some damage, but fortunately it took that skeleton out as well, so that helped. But yeah, the walls do not guarantee any kind of safety with those things. So if you're on the other side of the wall from one, it will still do damage. So then you're going to want to run down all the way to the end here. There's another skeleton here. Just scout round, backstab. Take him out quickly as you can. Another backstab. So 2 backstabs will take these guys out pretty easily. Obviously as long as you can get the 2 backstabs. Now you might just be able to see there on the left hand side there's an NPC there called Patches that we're going to encounter in a minute. Patches you're going to meet at least twice in the Catacombs. If you don't do this part early on, you will meet him later in the game. He's going to be in the Tomb of the Giants, but if you come to this part early on, he's hiding out here by this other lever. And you're going to need to either push that lever or make sure that he doesn't push it and trigger one of these bridges, like this one that we're on now. So you saw that was all spikes. It was folded up. I pressed that lever and that opened that bridge out. But I'm not going to go down through that entryway there. I'm actually going to jump off the side here, as you see here. This takes me down to the second bonfire in the Catacombs. And there's a secret door here, well, fake wall leading to a bonfire. And this is the second bonfire in the Catacombs. Again, I'm going to use a humanity here. I'm going to restore my humanity, and I'm going to kindle the fire because I want to have my 10 Estus for this. Because in a second we're going to take on Pinwheel, and Pinwheel is fairly easy, but you're going to need to be able to Estus. Because he can do you a fair bit of damage. So, as I mentioned earlier on, you have Patches, who's standing up by this next lever that we're going to go to in just a second. And he will either position the bridge so that it's open or closed. And depending on that, you're going to need to press the lever or not, depending on whether or not, obviously, it's which state the bridge is in. So, as you come out of here, there's a ladder immediately to your left. You're going to go up there. And as you do, you can take a quick peek over to the right-hand side and see whether or not the bridge is open. So I can see that it's actually open there. So I'm just going to talk to him.
You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the Catacombs? Are you a cleric or something? No? Well, that's strange. Oh, I know what it is. You've come for the trinkets, haven't you? Well, whatever it is, this place is treacherous. Do you watch your step?
So be very, very careful with this character. You don't want to fight him here. You don't want to kill him because he's actually going to come in pretty handy later. He will be a trader later on in the game. But when you come across this bridge, don't go all the way over because he'll tip the switch and you'll end up plunging to your death. So come over, jump onto this little platform like I did. Right here you've got the Great Scythe, which is a fantastic weapon. Really good one to have early on. It has great range and it's a definite PvP favorite. But essentially this shortcuts you. If you take this little route, this gives you a shortcut down to Pinwheel. And here you're going to be able to get Paladin Leeroy's summon sign. So I'm going to summon Paladin Leeroy, and I'm going to try and edge my way very, very carefully off of this ledge down to this little ledge you can see down here, where I'm going to be able to get the holy set. And I really edge my way very carefully here, because if you go just a little bit too fast, you'll plummet all the way down. You'll take a fair bit of damage to your health, but you also will not be able to make it and get that set. So as soon as I'm down, I run through out the back here, run down this hallway, health up, and I'm going to let Paladin Leeroy take out most of these bone wheel skeletons here. These guys do a hell of a lot of damage. They really sap your stamina when they're hitting into your shield, so I wouldn't try messing around with them too much at this point. Just try and get him to follow you. Go through the fog door. And just continue making your way down to Pinwheel's lair. And I realise that Leeroy is not coming. He's still stuck trying to fight the skeletons. The Bonewell skeletons. And there we go. Okay, he's coming after me. Jump down here. And now we're going to have the Pinwheel fight. So Pinwheel is the one that gives you the Rite of Kindling. You have to kill this boss in order to get the Rite of Kindling, and he's really not too hard, especially with Paladin Leeroy, but the key thing with him is that he creates duplicate copies of himself to try and throw you off. You want to make sure that you try and stay on top of the real version of him. You see these three masks. Each one of these has a different ability. You have the Mask of the Father, the one at the bottom gives you more carrying ability. Mask of the Child, which was the one at the top, gives you more stamina. The Mask of the Mother, the one to the middle and left, gives you more health. So try and stay on top of Pinwheel. As you can see, Paladin Leeroy deals him pretty huge damage. And the good thing about this NPC is that he also has the ability to heal himself, as he has faith-based spells. So really just try and deal damage to Pinwheel whatever you can. And I'm doing the wrong one there, I'm doing the illusions. But try and find the right one, and when you can, lay into him. In the meantime, just try and keep yourself healthed up and keep out of the way where possible. And really let Leeroy do the bulk of the work. As you can see, my hits are doing virtually no damage, they're tickling him. But fortunately, if you attack the right one, Leeroy tends to follow suit pretty quickly, and then one more hit from him, and there you go, he's done. Now I have the Rite of Kindling. In addition to that, I get a Homeward Bone, a Humanity, and the Mask of the Father. And as I mentioned just a second ago, that increases your weight carrying ability. Not as much as Havel's Ring, but still significantly enough that it's a good one to have. And if you climb up this little ladder here, just run around the edge before you Homeward Bone back to the last bonfire. Run up the side of here, and you find a little tunnel leading back to the way that you came in. And right at the end is Soul of a Proud Knight, which is worth quite a few souls, and that's pretty good to have at this stage of the game. So, Homeward Bone, back to the last bonfire. And then we're going to try and make our way out of this hellhole. So, one thing to note here, because I took the shortcut last time, if I go through this passage here, which leads you to the normal doorway that you would come through, you'll see that's blocked. That's because I haven't activated the lever that would normally open that up. However, I'm going to be able to do that in just a second, but as you can see, the bridge is now closed again, so we need to go back up and activate this lever up here. Back up the stairs. But I'm going to go and bonfire before I do that. Which is probably kind of pointless considering I haven't really lost that much health, but oh well. Yep, and that actually worked out to my disadvantage, but okay, here we go. So press this lever. And as you can see, the bridge rotates. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're just going to jump off the side here onto one of these platforms. And you can actually jump onto either one. Generally speaking, if you have a heavyweight character, you definitely want to go to the higher one. You're not going to be able to make it all the way to the second one. If you have a lighter character like this, he has a much larger rolling distance. And I just followed that skeleton and killed myself. Dope. So, back to the bonfire. We're going to do the same thing again. I'm completely missing my roll times here. If you roll at the right time, you can actually avoid that little trap there. Alright, so grab my souls. 17,000, I think I'm going to want to keep that. So slow this one out, and he falls off the edge. Perfect. And another one just went down off the edge. And that wasn't so great. Backstab, yeah, that's not too bad. Just be very careful on these little walkways because it's very, very easy to slip and go down. Incidentally, this staircase, if you follow it down, you'll meet, eventually get to Vamos, who is a blacksmith. And he's the one you need to go to create fire-based weapons. And fire and lightning weapons really are the most powerful in the game. So you see this doorway that's open here. That's what you open when you press that switch. Again, try and come around for the backstabs. There are a number of little rooms off of this area, but I'm not going to go into them right now because that would be a little bit too dangerous. I'm just going to try and take out the guys that are in the main areas that we need to go through. My main point here is really just trying to get the Rite of Kindling and get out alive. So be careful with this statue. Again, most of these statues have little blades that will come out of them and do you a lot of damage. Another skeleton in this room. And I messed that up. I was going to try and get behind him and do a backstab. And he nearly gets me. Alright. I'm going to take a little headshot on this guy. And he goes rolling off the side. Saves me a bit of work. So here I'm actually literally just going to run past. Back out here to the side, past that archer, out to the right hand side, across the bridge. And I'm just going to keep on running past all of these skeletons here. I'm not going to bother trying to find them. I just want to get out of here as quickly as possible. So my goal is to get to the next bonfire, or just keep on running. This is a little bit of a risky trick because you can potentially get yourself killed along the way quite easily. And then you have to go back to that last bonfire again. But I'm going to give it a go. So I'm actually going to kick him off the side like that. There we go. Gives me a chance to get away from them. And I've got this guy here. I'm actually going to try and trigger these heads if I can. There we go. So that knocks them down. I'm not going to even bother trying to fight them. I'm just going to get back up and run, run, run. It's a little bit annoying trying to run up here because the directions tend to, force you into the wall a little bit, but there we go, back into daylight, and just keep running, get your stamina back a little bit, and I'm going to run past these other skeletons here and get myself back to the bonfire at Farnick Shrine. And I'm nearly there. Just going to go around this corner. Alright, home free. And there you have it. Rite of Kindling, level 21, easy. And as I mentioned, this will give you a huge advantage. You can now kindle your fires up to 20 Estus flasks, which will make your life a lot easier.